I've met Andrew WK. Dan, you've seen the picture. Maybe you put that up there.
Yeah. Did you give him like a misting fan?
Yeah, he was holding the misting fan. That was just real weird. It was great.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dan, that's Eddie, and you can see we have a third person here with us today, being Jesse. Jesse is here because we have a tournament going on called the King of the Rye. A tournament of 8 bottles that we have on our shelf, and we're going to determine which one is the best of those 8. This isn't necessarily like the 8 best ryes in the world. It's the 8 best ryes that we have that weren't open yet. We've got Jesse here, and then later, his wife Kyra will be joining us as well, because what we're doing here is a blind tasting tournament, and we don't want to have a tie, so we have to have a third person with us here.
I have a purpose.
You do. You serve a wonderful purpose in being here.
This is a great purpose.
Yeah. Our usual method of me pouring stuff in beakers, Eddie then pouring them in glens. So I knew what was in the beakers. He knows which beaker he poured in which glen. Eddie has no idea, and Jesse also has no idea what we're even drinking. I do know what the 2 ryes are because I randomized it on random.org to get the tournament seating. So I'm the only one that actually knows what we're drinking, but I don't know which is which.
You're basically a liquor scientist.
I'm Bill Rye, the science guy.
There you go. Yes, I like that.
Like I said, I'm used to drinking out of shot glasses, so I don't usually get a lot of the smell.
Oh no, you're getting this is quality
full
stuff.
experience.
Right here.
It's kind of hard to nose a shot glass without just like Steve-Oing it.
Yeah, exactly. Old Steve-O, not new Steve-O.
Yeah, new Steve-O. He might snort kombucha. But I suppose we can start sniffing on A.
Sniffing.
That's sweet to me.
I'm kind of thinking almost like bubble gum.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, you know how we talk about like the 90s Wrigley style gum? No, this is like bubble gum.
This is double bubble baseball, you know.
I'm not getting any gum.
Really?
I'm not getting gum.
No gum?
I'm almost getting like an amaretto-y.
Okay, I can pick that up a little bit because amaretto's super sweet.
Really, really sweet, yeah.
I was thinking a little cinnamon too, though. Be honest,
I can see cinnamon.
Yeah, that classic rye, spicy.
It is. The rye has a lot of those herbal elements that play into this. Altogether, I'd say it's a pleasant smell.
It smells good enough that I want to drink it.
Right,
So that's
yeah.
a good start,
I mean,
you know?
Yeah, it's not off-putting.
Clink 'em and drink 'em, right?
Clink 'em and drink 'em, baby. That's really smooth.
Really easy going, yeah.
Spicy on the back end.
Right, I was just going to say that. It gets spicy towards the end, but in the front, very sweet up front. Like amaretto-y, bubblegummy kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was happening on the nose is happening. I mean, really, it's the taste is lining right up with the smell for me. First, we were smelling that sweetness, and then it got a little like that cinnamon spicy kind of thing.
And then it kind of finishes, even as I'm speaking right now, minty.
I'm getting like tingles on the back of my tongue as it's mellowing out.
Tingles.
I think the thing that's crazy for me is when I smelled it, I got a big shot of the booziness of it, but when I tasted it, I didn't taste hardly any booziness. Like it's really mellow. Yeah, it's really smooth. I like it.
Like a honey clove sweetness, kind of.
I could see a little bit of honey, yeah. I suppose we can jump on B.
This one had more of a kick, like if you really inhale it, like
More of an
I feel
alcohol?
it in
I was
the
gonna
back
say,
of my
for
nose
sure.
and my sinuses, which is rare. Like that gets up in your sinuses.
It's definitely more boozy.
The nose is fainter. Like we aren't gonna pick out like specific items of it, but it will burn you.
I literally only am getting burnt out of it.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time here.
Like this will put chest hair on you, just like.
I'm struggling, man, to find anything other than that burn. Like, because like if I go back to A, it's like, oh, sweet, bubblegum, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is just coming through.
I know I said I was getting booze out of this one at first, but after smelling this one, I'm like, that one's not boozy at all.
No, this one.
There is like a grain element. If you can get through the burn, you can smell the grain.
It smells like a regular grain whiskey is what it smells like. Just like...
Yeah, almost.
Like, this
It's
thing
like
is
paint thinner.
kicking.
It's like
It is
paint thinner.
Yeah, it's powerful.
You can melt nail polish off that stuff.
It's really fighting with that alcohol, though, but there is almost a bit of that, like, licorice-y kind of
You gotta work for that.
But the alcohol dominates. Well,
I can see that, Anna.
The alcohol really dominates, though.
I see what you're getting, though, like, if you pull it away a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of like I was saying with this one, how it had that, like...
Yeah.
It was... I'm almost getting maybe even like a cocoa, like a strong chocolate bar, like 95% cacao or whatever they call it.
Cacao.
Yeah, like a little bit of a bitter kind of smell. I think this one might be one of those ones where, like, when you taste it, all of a sudden the nose starts to make sense.
I hope
so.
I hope you're right.
Otherwise, it's going to be like, well, this one loses.
Clink them and drink them.
Grassy.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really grassy.
That's actually, flavor-wise, really not that bad. Almost kind of like an Irish whiskey, really, with that maltiness and the
almost a
grassiness.
peatiness. I feel like a horse chewing on hay right now.
I don't hate this.
I don't hate it either. That proof burn is definitely much more present than it was in A.
The nose does not do any justice to its flavor at all. Like, it's completely different than what I would expect when I take a drink.
Yeah.
It's really, really earthy. Like, just earthy and grassy to me.
Earthy is a great way to describe it. Feels, for lack of a better word, like darker, too, in the finish. Where this kind of had that, like, light honey, sweet, went to mint. This one finishes, like, dark.
I was going to say that the finish might actually do that black licorice some credit that we were getting in the smell.
I feel like 30 seconds after you drink it, you breathe out of your mouth, that's where you get that anise. Like,
Yeah.
You know how there's the band 30 Seconds to Mars? This is 30 Seconds to Anise.
Fucking Jared Leto.
30 seconds for Jared Leto.
Yeah. Jared Leto shoved me at a 30 Seconds to Mars concert once.
Really?
What a dick.
I didn't even know who he was. Like, they were opening for Audio Slave in Milwaukee. And he's, like, trying to be Mr. Rockstar. And he jumps off the stage. And I'm, like, not close to the stage. I'm probably, like, 20, 25 feet back. And he starts doing this big arc through the crowd. Like, pushing his way through singing, like, I'm a rock star. And I'm, like, watching it, I'm like, he's coming right for me. Like, I'm at, like, the apex of this curve, because I'm, like, right in front of the drummer. And sure enough, he comes through, and he, like, shoves into me, and I just don't move. He tries to shove me again. You're kidding me! One of the weirdest celebrity experiences of my life. I don't know how you guys are feeling right now, but right now I feel like A is a much more, like, drinkable kind of scenario, but B might be a little more interesting on the drink. The nose, for me, B is way behind A. Nose.
Yeah, for sure. That nose sucks.
B packs more of a punch. Oh, you're done. Do we need to get more? Oh, he's all in.
I'm taking a big swill of each of them so I can get the
He's
full
gonna get the full experience.
He's going full experience.
He's gonna make up his mind. Both, I'd say, pretty enjoyable in their own ways. Kind of a, like, what are you looking for?
I feel like if you're looking to get tore up, B is your one.
It depends on your method of getting torn up, though, because for me, B, I mean, it seems like the one that's going to tear you up. But A, I'm going to drink that one 10 times faster. If I'm trying to party, I'm going to drink A.
Right.
Because it's going to go down easy. Where this one, I'm going to put that into a nice glass. I'm going to sit there, sip on it while I watch a movie.
Right.
I like that insight. And B is like a sipper.
Right, yeah.
Whereas A, as he said, party style, is Andrew W.K. approved.
Andrew W.K., baby.
All right, I think we just got to lock in our votes as to which one we find to be superior.
My choice is decided and locked in. I'm going with A.
I think they're both really good, but I'm a B guy. I'm going B.
You guys are doing this on purpose.
No, I swear to God. It's like if I'm having one, I want it to kick me a little bit, and that's my...
B certainly has the kick.
Here's the thing is, I'm kind of on both your sides here. I get the I want to party, this goes down smooth. I get I want to sit and sip this thing, and I want to have one. I think I'm with you, Dan, because honestly, if I'm in a party, I'm just going to buy a cheap bottle, and I'm just going to plow it down. Where if I'm really saying the one I want to drink more, I think I'd rather sit and sip this one. So I think that's why. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
A was our loser. Was E.H. Taylor. Straight rye.
I mean, I had E.H. Taylor's.
I liked it though. I would honestly drink it.
Neither of these were bad.
Neither of them are losers, honestly.
That means your winner, Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye.
That's probably why I liked it, because I drink Wild Turkey typically. So
right.
I can't dispute it. All right, so we've got the second matchup of the first round tonight that we're dropping. This is Kyra. She's joining us to be our tiebreaker judge.
Potential tiebreaker. There could be a unanimous decision.
That'd be great.
We don't know what we're drinking, so we can't really talk about what they are. I suppose we just got to jump in and start sniffing.
I caught, strangely enough, like a strawberry vibe almost.
I could see where you're going there. A little bit of that honey thing.
I like
that we were seeing out of the E.H. Taylor too.
Definitely get the strawberry. I think those what were like those little strawberry hard candies.
With the goo inside of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah.
They look like strawberries.
They just look like a little strawberry?
Yeah. What was with the goo in the middle of them? I never understood that. Like, because you initially thought hard candy. You got through the hard part, and then all of a sudden there's weird goo inside.
Yeah, it was like a petrified gusher.
But it was so good.
Petrified gusher, I'm writing that down.
I think you had to be like at minimum 65 years old to buy those because I've never seen them in a non-elderly person's home.
Weirdly enough,
I've never even seen them in a store.
My mom, she was a physical therapist assistant, and I remember being a kid, like at the Gunderson pool, like going to visit my mom at her work, and they had like a jar of those.
Really?
And I'd always like take a couple.
Well, I'd imagine your mom being a physical therapist at Gunderson, and there's a pool involved. There are elderly,
geriatric, like
elderly.
What was it?
folks.
Joints in motion.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's
it.
what it is.
But they had those strawberry petrified gushers.
Well, I'm kind of embarrassed because I would like choose to buy those. I didn't necessarily get them at an elderly person's house or a location where an elderly person would be.
You've seen them in a store?
Like at a
Like
grocery
you've bought
store,
them?
or
Yeah.
I've never seen them. Like I thought there was just some secret place where the old people knew to go.
petrified gushers, strawberry, honey, ethanol. There's a bit of ethanol to it.
It just reminds me of candy. So it also reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have had like the it's like the berry candy. So they have the red berries and the blueberries.
And they're like kind of like bumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it
Are you talking
smells
more
like.
of like a fruit snack or?
No. These are more. Honestly, these are more candies you'll find at old people's houses.
Okay,
They are
So
bumpy,
old
hard
people-
candies.
Old people candy is
Yeah.
You guys
the.
are like all the old people.
okay.
candy.
She enjoys
I'm
an
writing
older
it down.
person's
It's in the
candy.
notes. Old people candy.
A mature palate.
But, wow, that sounds.
That's a very nice way to say that.
How do you feel about Werther's Original?
I feel like this is a trick question.
No, it's
Like,
not. I
don't
just
wanna
not
answer.
though. This is
There's just an honest answer.
I feel like I just had something that tasted like Werther's Originals. Didn't I bring that up with you? I feel like I did.
You just call
Like
me
a
up
whiskey.
and say, "This tastes like Werther's Original, man." Like,
I feel
cool,
like
thanks.
I would say that, and you would just give me the thumbs up. Clink 'em and drink 'em. It's got some stuff going on.
A lot of different things are happening there.
No, there is a lot of things that are happening. Initial impression was honey, but on the finish, it goes through a couple different little loop-de-loops.
At first, I felt like watery, but then it got like coating, as it were.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. It was very like, this doesn't necessarily have a lot of flavor. Like, it smelled more intense than it was tasting at first.
On the exhale, while you were talking, I just kind of breathed through my nose, but like let a little bit slide off my tongue. I got like coconuts.
That just reminded me of what this tastes like.
She's got it.
Yes, I have it. I've been like sitting here racking my brain.
Let's hear it.
What is like I think it's the coconut thing, but isn't it like a German chocolate cake or coffee cake or something like that
Yeah.
that has like the shredded coconuts in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the German chocolate with like that like brown frosting with all
Yeah.
the stuff in it.
A German chocolate cake. I could like based on what I got from that exhale, I could see it.
That fruit is starting to come through though a little for me. On continued sipping. Sour fruit or something. I don't know if it's like citrusy.
I feel like this one's very hard to pinpoint exactly like what you're tasting.
Yeah, it's like cycling through things. That German chocolate cake thing is kind of a good call though, because there is a chocolatiness a little bit. And that plays on the coconut that you were talking about. I'm getting like some kind of fruit in there still.
And it's not really strawberry like the nose either.
I think it's citrusy, like you said, and I'm
Yeah.
like racking my brain for what citrus.
Could it be almost
is.
like an orange peel? Like we're not talking
Yes.
like base finish though. Like I'm talking minutes after drinking that or just doing little splashes. There is a bit of like batter, cake batter that kind of like lingers.
I'm thinking too vanilla. It kind of has a little bit of
That's
vanilla.
yeah, like a vanilla cake batter type scenario. Yeah, I get it.
While I don't think it's like super sweet, it is kind of like in a dessert direction almost. One of
It's
those like
like-
fancy desserts though. That's not like just like a sugar bomb.
Should we move on to B?
Yeah, might as well give B a nose and see what shakes out there.
These are both super mellow.
Yeah,
This one initially up front like smells like what purple grape candy kind of tastes like.
We're on a candy kick right now.
I was going to say kind of a fresh, it's not like a heavy mint, but you know what I mean? That freshness to it. As opposed to the first one, it had like the strawberry fruity thing. This is a little more herbal to me.
So I think I'm just on a candy kick right now, and that's all I'm thinking about, because these are a little bit more on the sweeter side of things, and I'm thinking like Warheads or Sweet Tarts.
Like acidic kind of thing?
Oh yeah, maybe.
We have never mentioned that as a descriptor for whiskey before, but I like it. I think it plays.
But just going back to A and then back to this, like this one's so much more like sugary smelling to me, and then this one is more that tannic, acidic kind of thing.
This one has more of a nose burn.
Yep.
than
Yeah,
the first
absolutely.
One. Clink 'em and drink 'em. I just made a face. I think this is such a, like, when you drink it, it's a lot starker of a contrast to the first one.
How so? Like,
I think it just has a little bit more bite to it.
sure, like probably a higher proof.
I'm tasting peaches initially.
We should make a whiskey root beer float, but obviously scratch the root beer float, but put ice cream in it. This would be good with that.
You
I think
think
I'm
so?
just on a dessert kick right now.
I think B is getting way more into that darker black licorice, anise kind of thing. Leaves me a little drier in the end. Maybe a little more oak to it. Whereas A, I'm getting a lot of like juiciness to it.
Juiciness. I like that.
I feel like this one I don't want to keep like sipping. This is one I'd be like, yeah, I'd take a shot of that, but I wouldn't sit down and be like, I'm just gonna sit down and have
Enjoy,
something to
yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy this.
B is a complex bitch.
Much more tannic. Almost like a red wine direction as opposed, you know what I mean?
That is, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I feel like B is, okay, how do I describe this? Basically, if I had a lemon and I took it and I just like squeezed lemon into the back of my throat.
Oh.
Just acid.
You're talking like citrus, acidic.
Citric
Yeah,
acid.
this is going to be a tough choice because I like both of them.
They're both they're more complex than I think the original ones that we did with Jesse. I think we're going to like end up like shunning a pretty good whiskey here.
So A is a little bit more sweet on the front end, but it still has that throat burn. And I feel like B is just like burn all the way through.
Yeah.
B, and this goes to the mint, I think, but menthol. That is what I think of.
Menthol.
Yeah,
I could-
like when you when you gargle like mouthwash. And I don't mean that in a bad way because I like to gargle mouthwash, but it just has a very like menthol.
Shit, now that you say that, I just gargled a little bit of it. It's like, yeah, like
It's
Listerine.
in the notes. Mouthwash gargle.
All right, so should we rank these?
I think you guys are going to be probably surprised potentially with
I
what
think
do.
we're all going to be. You're probably going to be spread. We're all going to be spread.
I'm kind of like split down
Wild
the middle
cards.
now.
Yeah, these are both good again.
Depends on how you kind of feel today. I feel like with this one,
I've got my pick.
you're not done yet.
I don't have to drink the whole thing to know. I just kept going back to it and really enjoying it. I have to go with A. That like juicy thing was really working for me right now.
I am typically not a sipper person when it comes to liquor in general. So I think for that particular reason, I'm actually going to go with B.
Ah,
Did not see
unexpected
that
results.
Because I feel like I just like to get it down the hatch, and the more it burns, like the more you feel like you actually just like,
If you were doing shots of each of these, that's the one that you're going to be like, "Oof, yes, we did it."
yeah, because it was purposeful.
That being said, I went with A as well,
Holy shit!
and I got to tell you that's a surprise because when we're coming up with analogies like juiciness and strawberry petrified gushers, it's like wow.
So you chose B.
Okay.
We chose A.
Ooh, I'm excited.
B, your choice was Russell's Reserve, single barrel.
Of course. We've had that before, right?
Quite burly, quite delicious, and for all the reasons you mentioned, makes full sense as a pick. Our winner, A, Eddie's going to be happy about this.
Hey!
What is it?
Michter's 10.
I mean, it was a narrow margin though.
It really
to be
was.
honest.
It could have went
It
either
really-
way. So there you have it. 4 Ryes up, 2 Ryes advance. If you haven't yet, hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel. We're here every Wednesday, and we'll be here every Wednesday in July, continuing this tournament.
From the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen, Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Happy birthday to Jesse. We're all birthday bottle popping, clink 'em and drink 'em.
Wait, is this supposed
Gracias.
to be a shot or a sipper? I don't know. Nobody told me.
I'll just put it
Just
down.
do what you want. I guess I didn't. I'm the only one who didn't. So you guys all pour up and we'll do it again.
No, how about you assume?
No.